see any further tax taken from them. That was really important, but we also set out as priorities, we are going to invest in our National Health Service.
To pass that on to my child now, I'm going to get taxed on that, and actually can he afford to take that business on? And if he has to then sell 2 tractors, for example, to pay that tax bill.
Within the another few minutes, you'll find how Keir Starmer's reaction to Jeremy Clarkson's potential capture has uncovered a developing crack between lawmakers and the individuals they serve. We'll break down the stunning minutes that have cleared out particles addressing their confidence in British popular government. Sometime recently. We move on, I'd like to inquire you a little favor in case you appreciate this substance. If you don't mind, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you observe the recordings without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a gigantic contrast to us. So did you press the subscribe button? Incredible. Thank you so much. Presently. Back to the video.
And that's the Welsh Government's proposed new post-Brexit system of public payments for farmers.
For your family farm to the next generation, as I said earlier, we want our younger ones to take on our farms, our heritage. And for example, for me, I haven't got a farm.
From Starmer's contemptuous chuckling to the brewing storm within the cultivating community. This video will uncover the covered-up suggestions of this political earthquake. Stay tuned to get it. Why this isn't almost about Clarkson or Starmer, but around the longer term of our country. Keir Starmer's cavalier giggle after at the G20 summit has sent stun waves through British politics when stood up to approximately a request marked by over 2 million individuals calling for an unused race. Starmer's reaction was not fair. Startling, it was out and out stunning. Rather than addressing the concerns of millions, he chuckled and brushed them off with a casual update that exceptionally numerous individuals didn't vote Labour at the final decision. This minute of levity within the confront of genuine open concern has cleared out numerous addressing Starmer's judgment.
And everything is just going against it. This inheritance tax it's ridiculous.
Protesters here. Farmers say this is just the start. Next week, they are planning to hold their first ever strike action.
The differentiate between his giggling and the gravity of the circumstance couldn't be starer here. We have 2 million citizens communicating their dissatisfaction with the current government, and the pioneer of the resistance reacts as in the event that it's all a bit of a joke. It's a reaction that smells of political tone. Deafness, the results of Starmer's pretentious state of mind, may well be far-reaching. Political investigators are as of now sounding the alert caution that this misstep seems estrange voters who feel unheard and underrepresented. It's not close to the 2 million appeal underwriters. It's approximately the millions more who might see Starm as chuckling as an image of a broader disengage between lawmakers and the individuals they're implied to serve.
The changes that we've made, I say, the door is open and you can leave.
Specialists in political communication are shaking their heads in incredulity. They contend that recognizing open opinion indeed, when it's basic, is vital for compelling administration. Starmer's disappointment to do so might have long-term suggestions for his validity and the Labour Party's appointive prospects. It's a reading material illustration of how not to handle open feedback. The occurrence has started a firestorm on social media, with opinion investigation appearing a surge in feedback. Numerous feel that Starmer wasn't fair, rejecting a request. He was taunting the voices of 2 million citizens.
We've got a two-tier police system that supports them more than the Christian majority. We're given second-rate housing compared with them.
We shall fight in the fields and in the streets.
There are things that we can do better as farmers.
It's the kind of gaffe that can frequent a lawmaker for a long time, much like George W. Bush's scandalous mission-finished discourse. What's especially concerning is how this minute might move open discernment of Starmer, once seen as a potential leader, who seemed challenge the current government. He presently dangers being seen as fair, another out-of-touch lawmaker. His giggling has raised genuine questions, almost his capacity to put through with voters and empathize with their dissatisfactions.
He was here today and he looked out of that door there at Downing Street. He would see what working people are.
As we delve deeper into this political seismic tremor, we got to consider how SEAT's misstep interfaces to broader issues. The developing discontent isn't around one.
We get the way we've been treated in this country as farmers. Without rural Wales.
And protest they did in their thousands before the...
Okay, that's even worse to the BBC. I wanted to shoot, which comes with the benefit of not having to pay inheritance tax. Now I do.
Ticular or 1 minute of chuckling, it's around a broadening hole between the political tip-top and the individuals they speak to. And no place is this hole more clear than within the brewing storm. Over legacy charge changes and their affect on Britain's cultivating community legacy charge might sound like a dry theme. But it's touched off a firestorm that undermines to burn Labour's country bolster to the ground. With up to 20,000 agriculturists taking to London streets in challenge, we ought to inquire, has Starmer's party gravely miscounted the disposition of the wide open at the centre of this storm? Stands an improbable winner of Britain's agriculturists, Jeremy Clarkson, once known. Essentially for his car audits, Clarkson has gotten to be a vocal pundit of Labour's proposed charge changes his appear. Clarkson's Cultivate has situated him as a guard of rural interface, giving voice to a community that frequently feels overlooked by Westminster.
I dared, the day after Southport, to do a video to say, can we please know who this man is? Was he known to the authorities?
So what's all the whine around Labour's? Proposed changes to legacy charge on rural arrive have sent stun waves through cultivating communities. The party claims these changes will, as it were, influence a little number of ranches, with Starmer noting that indeed affected ranches will pay half the standard rate at 20% rather than 40%. But agriculturists aren't buying it. The agrarian segment sees these propositions as a coordinate danger to their way of life little, and family-owned ranches, which frame the spine of British agriculture, fear they'll be constrained to offer off arrive fare. To cover the assess charge, it's not around cash, it's around protecting a centuries-ancient convention and a significant portion of the UK's nourishment generation framework. Let's put this into viewpoint. The UK's agrarian segment utilizes around 1.5% of the workforce and creates roughly $24 billion yearly. That's no little potatoes authentic points of reference appear.
Really able to give an answer as to when people would start feeling better off under Labour and how exactly the kind of long-term promises.
Votes, and those people who voted for him now are having second thoughts. So it's not just the farming, it's everything, it's civil liberties. We've got people.
That legacy charge changes can lead to noteworthy monetary strain on family ranches, regularly driving them to sell resources to cover assessed liabilities. Pundits are caution of a potential charge war that seem disturby cultivating operations and nourishment generation within the UK. It's not fair. Ranchers who are stressed rustic communities as a entirety are feeling the warm. This issue has united different bunches against Labour, making an impossible consolidation of ranchers, country inhabitants, and indeed, urban tenants concerned almost nourishment security. The political aftermath from this can be extreme for Labour by rejecting the concerns of 2 million request endorsers and presently possibly distancing the cultivating community Starmer's party dangers, being seen as out of touch with huge SES of the nation. It's a perilous diversion in a country where rural votes can frequently swing races. As we wrap up this investigation of Labour's later slips from Starmer's chuckling to the legacy charge calamity, we're cleared out with a few squeezing questions. How will these occasions shape long-term of British legislative issues? And more imperatively, what do they uncover approximately the state of representation in our majority rule? Government Starmer's pretentious giggling and Labour's legacy assess recommendations have made a idealized storm of political backfire. The Labour pioneers chuckle at the concerns of 2 million appeal underwriters combined with a charge range that's rankled. Agriculturists paints a picture of a party disengaged from huge SES of the nation. This isn't almost one gaffe or one approach. It's an indication of a more profound issue in British politics. The consequences for Labour may well be far-reaching country voters, as of now feeling ignored by Westminster, might see this as the ultimate straw history appears us, that when political parties lose touch with key socioeconomics, the discretionary repercussions can final for heiress Labour. Dangers not fair losing votes, but distancing whole community IDs as we observe this political show unfurl. We're cleared out, pondering is this, the starting of a major realignment in British legislative issues? Will we see a new winner develop for country and working class voters? Or will this be the wake-up call Labour must reconnect with the individuals? It claims to speak to the answers to these questions might shape long-term of our majority rule government for a long time to come.